The prospect of life without antibiotics is barely imaginable for a world that has had a cheap and plentiful supply of them since the end of World War II. They are a staple of modern medicine. It's hard to recall a time without them, when an infected cut could kill a healthy young person in a matter of days. But it's now clear that we are heading back in that direction, that the miracle of these drugs is slipping away.
A report today by the UN's World Health Organization says superbugs like MRSA have become so serious that they threaten the achievements of modern medicine, pushing us towards a post-antibiotic era.
Welcome to the new age, to the new age, welcome to the new age.
Tonight, a big organization has a very powerful message for all of us. The World Health Organization wants us all to treat antibiotics as serious medicine, not to be taken lightly. They say we take them so often for so many things on so many different occasions that antibiotics are actually threatening the achievement of modern medicine because of all the things they no longer kill and because of the rise of so-called superbugs that antibiotics cannot touch.
I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals.
The fact is that things like colds don't get better with antibiotics, but we're still prescribing and using antibiotics in those patients, and it just doesn't provide them any benefit.
Public health officials estimate that up to half of all antibiotic use in the U.S. is either unnecessary or inappropriate.
Antibiotics are unique drugs. They're not like any other class of drugs. 50 years from today, the cholesterol drugs we have now will work just as well as they work today. The cancer drugs we have now will work just as well as they do today. That's true of all the other drug classes. Antibiotics are the only class of drugs that the more we use, the more rapidly we lose. When you use it, it becomes less effective for me and vice versa.
That is the essence of antibiotic resistance.
The more you expose a bacteria to an antibiotic, the greater the likelihood that the resistance to that antibiotic is going to develop. So the more antibiotics we put into people, we put into the environment, the more opportunities we create for these bacteria to become resistant.
But people forgot about the danger of resistance because the drugs were so effective.
And what they had forgotten was the warning that Alexander Fleming himself, the man who discovered penicillin, gave us in 1945, that resistance was already being seen, and the more we wasted penicillin, the more people were going to die of penicillin-resistant infections.
Bacterial resistance is largely inevitable, but it's also something that we have certainly helped along the way. We've fueled this fire of bacterial resistance. These drugs are miracle drugs, these antibiotics that we have, but we haven't taken good care of them.
MRSA kills about 19,000 Americans a year. That's more than AIDS.
It now spreads around the world with the speed of jet travel. If there's a resistant bacteria there, it's here tomorrow.
Doctors warn that we need to be smarter about how antibiotics are prescribed and used. The World Health Organization has some practical suggestions. Don't pressure your doctor to prescribe antibiotics. If you're given an antibiotic, take as directed and complete the entire course so partially treated bacteria don't thrive and spread. And don't take anybody else's medicine.
We live in a culture where we also overuse antibacterial wipes, and antibiotics are rampant in our food supply, and all of these factors together are now creating a new class of untreatable diseases, not just here, but in places as far away as Syria.
All systems go, the sun hasn't died, deep in my bones, straight from inside.